can't start telling the story now because this road is just not that interesting. Alright, so check it out. I got a story for you about what it's like during social distancing, coronavirus, and trying to get a refrigerator delivered. So yeah, interesting ordeal. So this is how it went down. Long and short, need a new refrigerator. And when I first started looking, you know, I didn't want to spend a lot of money, especially right now. So I was looking at the cheaper new ones, but quickly found out that the new dealer, you know, the brand new dealer, I don't want to name any names, but they aren't delivering right now during this time, like no delivery. So I'm like, well, how do they anticipate a person who doesn't have a truck and whatnot, and their refrigerator goes out, what are they gonna do? And so then, you know, it came to my attention that some of the used appliance stores were still delivering. So I was like, great. So I went to one of the used appliance stores and found a refrigerator that I really liked, you know, for a very good price. And he was like, yeah, we'll deliver. And I was like, awesome. All right, so, you know, it wasn't no big deal that the day that they were supposed to deliver it, they didn't, because he is a used appliance and he's also the guy who works on them. So he delivers and he works on ones that you know, need servicing and so forth. So you know, it's a few days late. That's fine. All right, well, somewhere in between, you know, the call from to tell me he's coming and them getting there, I can't remember exactly at what point I came to understand, he was like, hey, we're gonna do what's called curbside delivery, you know, because of the virus. And I was like, curbside delivery, what does that mean for a refrigerator? He's like, yeah, that means we're gonna come and we're gonna drop it off in the front of your house. And I was like, wait, I don't have a dolly. He's like, well, you can borrow ours to get it in, but you'll have to do that. And so my mind immediately goes to my back. I start thinking, man, I'm gonna have to be like really careful. I'm gonna have to move around 2 full-size refrigerators by myself. Okay, so they show up, they get there with the refrigerator on the truck, wonderful. 2 of them get it off the back and put it right, you know, on my front walkway. Now there's steps up to my porch and then on the porch. So they take it, they say, all right, have at it. And I was like, all right. So, you know, I've used a dolly before, so I go to get it onto the porch and then into the house, and it won't come into the house. And he was like, well, you got to take the door off. It's not gonna get in there with that door on there. And I was like, okay. Something else I have not ever done before. So my house is an older house, and the door, I had no idea it was going to be as heavy as it is. It's really heavy. And see, it's not that bad that, okay, let me just say, it's not that bad that it's heavy. I just started thinking, how am I going to balance and get the hinges back right and all that kind of stuff by myself with it being heavy? So I got a screwdriver and a hammer and knocked out the little pin thing that goes into the hinges and managed to get it off and get it onto the porch. All right, I get the refrigerator into my kitchen, and then I have to unstrap the dolly, and they're like, all right. So I take the dolly back outside and they take off. So now I'm there with no front door on and 2 refrigerators, you know, big in the middle of my kitchen. So I say, all right, now it's time for refrigerator Tetris. So I kind of planned out how, so that I wouldn't have to do a lot of moving, that I could just have to move it a few times and saving my back in the process. And so I was able to move it around. Now, here's the thing though. I don't have a dolly. So once I was done, the old refrigerator is sitting in the middle of my kitchen right now. Because now I'm in a quandary. So here's the deal. I was thinking with a guy, when I was telling my guy, he was like, well, you know, it could probably be fixed pretty easily. He's like, what's wrong with it? And I told him what had happened. You know, the last couple years, the fans start getting louder and it's down to like 75% cooling. He was like, yeah, probably needs a new fan, motor, doesn't cost that much. And I was like, well, I'm not that savvy with that kind of thing, not to mention I don't want to mess around and do something jacked up. So I figured I would yield that to somebody who knew what they were doing. So it seems like my choices are to borrow a dolly and take the refrigerator and put it outside on the front step, I mean on, you know, the front curb or whatever, until the city comes to get it. Or do like a Craigslist situation where I put it on Craigslist and tell everybody exactly what's wrong with it. Like, if you plug it up right now, it'll work, you know, 100% of the time, about 70% of the time, and 30% of the time it's going to be at about 75% until you change that fan out. And then somebody who has a truck and a dolly can come get it. Anyway, that's the story. That's how it went down.